Washington.
Hello, my name is Darrell Robertson, and I have the unique pleasure, because I'm the only one sitting beside you right now,
All right.
of introducing the founder of the Temple of Universality, Reverend Betty Tatalajski. And what she's going to talk about today is really the fundamental difference between the spiritualist churches and the rest of what we call organized religion.
True.
And it's a fundamental difference, and because spiritualists don't believe in death, do they?
Well, we know there is.
There is no. It's not even a question.
It's not a belief.
It's not a belief.
A belief would be
It's true.
believe or disbelief.
A thought. Yes. Yes.
Yes, but when you experience, you know.
Yes. See, now this is why, because those who go to spiritual churches or become spiritualists have had the experience of speaking with those who are no longer here in time and space. Now, when people are no longer here in time and space, we refer to them as dead.
Yes.
Okay? Spiritualists do not.
No.
Spiritualists, no. They made transition. It's like they went somewhere, they're somewhere else. And the reason why spiritualists say this is because we've spoken with these people.
And we see them.
And we see them. The really good phenomena people can do this. So it's like, you know, the way I can describe it is like a secret door.
Yes, that's what I thought. I thought these people have vision. Well, they do. It's called inner vision.
Yes.
When you're looking through the vision of the soul instead of
Yes.
the physical eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a secret door that spiritualists have been given the privilege of looking through. Now, let me assure you that we know that everybody else who hasn't looked through that little window is quite dubious about our stories.
To see.
With all our hearts, because it changes your attitude about what life is. It's wonderful.
And, you know, we say God is love.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
But love is letting go of fear.
Yes.
So when we can let go of
fear of death,
judgment, and guilt, then pretty much like A Course in Miracles says, all there is love.
Yeah.
And we live in this creation called God, and in a field of love, of loving consciousness. And of course, our hope, our mission, is to free other people from that guilt, shame, and all of these things that hold you prisoner. You know, when you're born with a what we call a fairy godmother, and a wicked witch. And Spirit was telling me about this the other day. The fairy godmother is your own spirit, which is pure love. But your ego, which is connected to your personality and five senses, want to keep you trapped into a unseen and unknowing world, is called the witch. Okay?
Well, they don't want you to go talking with a fairy godmother.
No,
because it'll lose control.
No, don't go to your own spirit.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what meditation is about.
Yes.
Meditation, as the beloved Jesus said, be still. He's talking about meditation, be still and know. And what he's saying is rescue your own spirit from the
clutches
of the ego, which are fear, anger, hate, frustration, and all of these.
What are those things, Betty?
When you let go of them, all there is love.
All there is
like
is love.
The song said, you know, all there is love. So we want really people to do this, to be free at last, like Dr. King said, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. And what a incredible path he walked, and what a hero he is. But, you know, we have Reverend Christine Fassetti there at the temple, and I know she is just really one of the most wonderful mediums, and she's been, you know, a close associate, and came to my class over 20 years ago, and has been sitting to see this and for other people, you know, not just for herself, but so that she can do exactly what she's doing now, sitting there on every other Friday night and bringing in, allowing family to come in, teachers to come in, heroes and heroines to come in, just to motivate you to remember your purpose here. And I would like to read this to you. Listen, my children, and you shall hear, for there's a great misconception that we'd like to clear. There's a great cry of protest regarding your birth. I didn't ask to be born. I don't want to come to earth. Now listen, dear children, and let us explain. For we hear your cries and we feel your pain. You each volunteered. You were anxious to come. You saw an opportunity for growth. You're not dumb. I'll go down and help wherever I'm needed. You can count on me. Just watch, you pleaded. You chose your mother and your father. You chose your place of birth. And when this time was perfect, you came back to earth. You came to help and to heal. You mostly came to grow. Each of you asked to come. We just wanted you to know. We get a lot of messages, that is our message from Spirit, from our teachers, from the great masters. They just want people to wake up. It is the time of Aquarius. Now, beloved friends, as we have said so many times, for the first time in human history, in this time of Aquarius, there is not coming to earth a great Messiah avatar to lead a great metaphysician, to lead singularly the world, but people, many people, thousands, hopefully millions, will come into the remembrance of who they are, why they're here, and this universal consciousness of love will permeate the planet. That is the plan, and we support it. We're pleased to be a part of it. So on Friday nights especially, friends come in, friends from the class I taught that I facilitated for 28 years. I did not teach that class. I was a facilitator for the Ascended Masters. And there were probably thousands of people who sat there in the dark with me on that Tuesday night. So I don't think it's strange when some of my friends come in from the spirit world.
Betty, you are so used to this. I mean, if they don't come in, you're disappointed.
Well, absolutely. What did I do wrong? So one night, Reverend Christine is in trance, and generally in the circle, I'm the first one sitting by her, so the teachers generally come in and speak to me first. And so the spirit teacher came in and said, Betty, see, they will not let people come in who do not know you or you do not know them.
Sure,
okay?
It has to be a relationship.
It has to be some kind of relationship.
Yeah.
That's why you have a doorkeeper.
Yeah.
You don't want all of these people coming in,
But you know the way I put it? The spirits on the other side of the veil are no better or worse than the ones when they're over here. And we know what people are like here.
You're very discerning.
Yes.
Here. You choose your friends.
Yes.
Well, you do that
on the other side
on
too.
The other side too. Yeah. So you don't want a bunch of chatter like that, So they said, now Betty, there's a young woman here who just made transition a couple of months ago, and she wants to talk to you. She has long braids and dark skin, and I said, Margie, it's Margie De La Rosa, Bishop De La Rosa. Yes, Betty, it's me, she says, Well, come on in, let her in. So she came in, and she said to me, Betty, I felt bad because I didn't get to go to her memorial in Upper New York and just a couple of weeks. And we had been to the Middle East Peace Initiatives so many times together. She and her husband were both doctorate psychologists and wonderful. She is also a Cherokee chief, and a remarkable person. And she said, Betty, would you tell my husband that I hear him, I love him. She said, now, Betty, I'm happy. It's good over here. I'm with my daughter and my son, my only children, who had made transition earlier. She says, and this is good, but I miss my husband. And she said, and would you tell him that I hear every word he says? He talks about me kindly to a lot of people, but he doesn't know I hear every word he says. Would you call him and tell him to talk to me? Remember that?
I remember that.
Wasn't that something? Yeah, would you tell him to call me, to talk to me? And I thought, well, I'm thinking, how am I going to get out of it? Okay, so I don't think I agreed, but anyway, I took a deep breath. And so anyway, she says, thank you, and she leaves. Well, we had a wonderful, incredible circle. And the next morning, I called one of my friends, Reverend Stephen Berg, who lived in Phoenix, and he said, what's going on down there? And I said, well, we had a great time last night, and, Dr. Margie De La Rosa.
So Stephen knows Dr. De La Rosa, and he knows you have these trance circles.
Yes, and of course.
Yeah.
And so he knew when I said, Margie was there, she was. And so I said, she told me, she asked me to tell her husband and told her exactly what. And he says, well, and I said, I'm not going to call her husband. He said, that's all right, Betty. He said, because, I'm at the university, he's working on his doctorate here in New York, and Dr. Jenkins is standing beside me, and her husband is here. We'll tell him.
So it got done.
We'll tell him. So it got done
Yeah.
in just the perfect way.
Yes, no trepidation.
No trepidation.
Yeah.
They never, my teachers, the beautiful ones, never put you in a
spot,
on the spot or in a compromising
like
position.
Howard.
Like Howard.
All our consideration of doing things that we're told to do.
Yes.
They've sort of paved the way.
They honor that, and
they don't
make
press
it
you.
happen.
Yeah, they don't make it.
So after I talked to Margie, then the next morning I'm looking around for something, and I saw the day that I met her and her husband. It was only the first day of the Middle East Peace Initiatives in May 2003, and I met her in Rome, because the first 2 months that we made 6 trips to the Middle East.
There's the photo.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I will share it. Perhaps I will even send it to the film to her husband.
Okay.
We'll
All
see.
right.
But anyway, he's there too, and actually, Margie tripped right up there by the Arch of Titus and sprained her ankle. My sister, the Reverend Nora Allen, beautiful medium for White Eagle, just went over, sat on the ground, touched her, massaged her foot, and healed her. So Margie has been really special to us. Then, right away, I saw when she visited Arizona, she's with Gustavo Gutierrez, who is head of the most of the Indian nation in this country, and our great friend in Phoenix, Gustavo Gutierrez.
Yeah.
And we had a celebration for her. She was a speaker at our American Clergy Leadership Breakfast, and there's that article. So if you want to show that on there, it'll remind me to send it also. There she is down there, and I believe in the upper right-hand corner. Beautiful.
There she is here.
Margie De La Rosa with Gustavo Gutierrez, the incredible leader, Indian leader here in Arizona. So, beloved friends, there is no death. Margie and her husband have come with an incredible a ministry, and they've done it. And I remember one night it was a very important conference of 500 world leaders in Amman, Jordan. And Spirit had said to me, these people, there are some high-level leaders here that are under attack, and these people really want to cause problems. It was actually about the time that 3 American hotels were bombed one weekend in Amman. We were back in Amman in a couple of days, and we were walking for peace, and I was happy to carry a great painting of King Abdullah, another hero of mine. But anyway, they said that room must be cleared or these people are under attack. So Margie and her Native American contingent spent a couple of hours, and she had just come from a major cancer surgery herself in New York. But she came, she knew Spirit told her how important it was, so they invited me to do the ritual with them. We walked and did this ritual for a couple of hours, and it was incredible honor to walk with the Native Americans who cleared the energy in that room. And it became a really wonderful conference, and nobody was hurt except somebody pushed me off the sidewalk and sprained my ankle. But that was
better than getting blown up in a bomb in your hotel room.
And the thing was, I didn't expect to talk about this, but it was interesting because it was about 1:30 when we got back to the hotel. We had to get up at 4:30 for Honda K, and I couldn't walk because my ankle. I couldn't take my shoe off because I could not have gotten it back on, in a few hours. And so I said to Spirit, we just started the conference. We've got a week to go. I must walk. And so they said, well, God helps those who help themselves. And I said, how can I help myself? And they said, we will heal it as you breathe through it. Now, I had never spent a night of breathing through my foot, but I found out it's possible.
Okay.
It had to be.
Okay.
And so I laid it on a couple of pillows. I spent the next 4 hours until I got up, breathing through my foot, saying, thank you, my foot is perfect. At 4:30, when the alarm went off, I got up and I had no pain. God helps those who help themselves. And so it was, of course, a really wonderful experience. And you know how much I love Jordan, Amman, Jordan, and the Jordanian people. There are so many incidences, beloved friends, opportunities that we have that we are so grateful for when people come in and say hello. And so
at the trance circles.
At the trance circle.
I want to say something about that, Betty. Reverend Christine Facchetti, who is the house trance medium.
She's been a student of mine for over 20 years.
Yes, at the Temple of Universality, all right? She's been hit by lightning. She's able to, literally hit by lightning. She's able to channel the highest. A lot of mediums can only channel disincarnate entities, which is a phenomenon in itself. I mean, that is no small thing.
Right. It's wonderful.
It's
yes.
wonderful. But Christine Facchetti has this ability to bring in the highest energy.
Because of those years of
meditation.
Moving.
Yes.
She works from
Yes.
here as well as the solar plexus. But she, it's sort of like a radio or TV.
Yeah.
She broadcast on many stations.
Yes. Now, so what happens is, there I am. I've had experience with phenomena through Hoyt Robinette, but I'm not the kind of person who likes to go to church. All right, because I used to as a kid. All right. I was lucky enough to be able to duck out. There was a nice little Mexican restaurant, and I had saved my money. And every Sunday I'd go there, and after Sunday school I'd do that, all right. And my parents were in the service, and I'd go out by myself and and I still remember the little tray of enchiladas and beans and rice, and I was happy, all right. And so I had enough of my time in church, so I thought. All right?
Yes.
So here I am in Tucson, and we knew that Hoyt Robinette, this great phenomena medium, is coming to Tucson, and he's going to be at the Temple of Universality, and that's where you go to sign up to get these appointments with Hoyt.
Yeah.
All right? And we'd almost missed Hoyt the year before, so
I had never met you.
Yes, so we decided we're going to go early, make sure we can sign up, all right? Because we didn't want to miss this, what we knew to be an absolutely extraordinary opportunity to pierce that veil.
And you knew it was going to be hard to get
to get an appointment.
Yes.
So we dress, it's Sunday, we go to the temple because that's where we know you sign up to see Hoyt, because the temple is where they bring him. They sponsor him every year, all right? So we sit there, all right? We're sitting there. They got the songs. I can't carry a tune, so every time those songs come up, it presses my feelings of insecurity, all right? So I sort of mouth the words if I'm sufficiently, cowed to do so, or if I'm comfortable with myself, I don't do anything. I just stand there. And so I'm sitting there, and then we find out you can't sign up that day. So I'm stuck. Stuck.
Stuck in church.
Yeah, stuck in church. Now, I knew Martha. She's so nice. I couldn't say, "Hey, I'm out of here."
Oh, she's a saint.
Yeah, exactly. So I was, and I knew she would sit there, and make me have manners. All right.
Yes.
So I was literally stuck. All right. So we're sitting there at the temple, and it's now time for Reverend Christine Facsetti. She's the medium, and to give messages. Now, what I want to tell the audience here, this is, for the past 3 years before this happened, I had traveled to Australia, to Europe, and places in the United States, and had given talks on gold. I had a reputation out there. I had predicted the economic collapse before it happened in 2007. I had written a book. It got ordered in 25 countries, all right? I had gone around the world, basically, giving talks, and I had sort of reputation, and I was very much into gold, blah, 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 blah. So there I am at the Temple of Universality on a Sunday, stuck.
When our gold is wisdom.
All right. I'm stuck. I wasn't in it. All right, I'm sitting there. And here's Reverend Christine Facsetti giving messages, all right? And she's looking out over the group, waiting there, and she points to me, and she goes, "Darren." And I go, "Daryl." And she goes, "Daryl, I see gold, gold, gold." Now, one time might have done it.
Yeah.
But she repeated it. And by the third time, I was stunned.
And it's your theme song.
It's my theme song. Gold. I'm stuck. And this lady says that to me.
Never seen you before.
Never seen me before. And then she goes, and I see you and your wife, I'm sitting next to Martha, on the Orient Express. 2 days before, I was looking on the Orient Express website about that extraordinary train ride through Europe that Equipero or all that, all that stuff is on, looking at it. And this is what she says. This is what she says. So, folks, all I can say is this. I left that service at the Temple of Universality in a different state than when I went in. When I went in, I was not sure of what this temple was, except I didn't go to places. My Sunday mornings were too valuable to spend trying to sing and listen to stuff. After that Sunday, I would say that we haven't missed a Sunday in 3 years.
Well, I think also that you told me that I did the talk. I never met you then, but I was doing a talk, and he says, and I was talking about my father, who was in spirit, who shot himself, and was talking about what he says to me, and the poem he gave me, and all of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this lady, this Temple of Universality, you got to come. 11 o'clock, the corner of Prince and Country Club at the Masonic Temple, the Temple of Universality, Reverend Betty Tatalajski.
And Reverend Daryl Schoen.
It's our gift.
Thank you, friends.